When someone you love is gone, it feels like time stops. The world keeps moving, people keep laughing, and yet, inside, it's completely still. It's like the air has changed, and every sound feels distant. Grief has a strange way of making you feel both heavy and hollow at the same time. But what if, just for a moment, you could hear what they'd want you to know? What if they could reach across that invisible line and tell you what they've seen since leaving? That's what this message is about. It's not about loss, it's about truth. The kind that only becomes clear when we've said our last goodbye. When a soul departs, it's not chaos, it's peace. Most people imagine fear, panic, or pain, but for them, it was like stepping out of a storm into a quiet morning. They didn't want to leave you. That wasn't their choice. But the moment their heart stopped, something else began. Something freer than breath and lighter than memory. The first thing they felt wasn't sorrow or regret. It was love. Pure, endless, unbreakable love. And it surrounded everything, including you. They saw you right then. They saw the people rushing in, the tears, the disbelief. They wished they could speak, could comfort, could tell you it was okay. But all they could do was stay near, hoping you'd somehow feel it. That sudden warmth in the cold, that calm that seemed to come from nowhere. That was them. You might think they're gone, but they're not far. Death doesn't create distance. It just changes the way we communicate. When you suddenly think of them for no reason, that's not random. When their favorite song plays at the perfect moment, or you smell their scent out of nowhere, that's not coincidence. It's how they say, "I'm still here." They're not trapped or lost. They're free, but they still care. They still check in. They see the days when you pretend to be fine, and they feel your tears before they fall. And though you can't hear them, they whisper the same thing every time. Please, keep living. Don't let my ending become your pause. We all carry words we never said, apologies we never made, thank yous we never gave, and love we never expressed loudly enough. They know that. They've heard every "I'm sorry," every "I miss you," every "I wish I'd done more," and they've already answered without words. You did enough. What they remember isn't how you fell short, it's how you cared, how you showed up when you could, how you made them laugh. You don't need to feel guilty for not being perfect. You loved them the best way you knew how, and that's what they took with them. They understand things now that we can't from here. They see that pain has a purpose, not as punishment, but as transformation. They see how every loss, every failure, every heartbreak was part of something much larger, a map we can't see while we're walking it. They've seen that love doesn't die when the body does. It stretches, expands, and becomes something bigger, like sunlight that keeps shining long after the flame is gone. That's why, if they could speak to you, they'd say this: please stop worrying about where I am. Start focusing on where you are. Because every time you choose to love again, to smile again, to live again, you're keeping me alive. Take a breath. Right now, wherever you are, inhale, exhale. In that tiny space between breaths, that's where peace lives. That's where they are. They don't want you to spend your life waiting for a sign big enough to prove they're real. They want you to notice the quiet ones, the gentle ones, the ones that show up in stillness, not noise. Because the truth is, they never really left. They just changed form. And every time your heart softens, every time you feel gratitude or love, that's where you meet again, in energy, in memory, in spirit. If any part of this spoke to you, take a second. Not for me, but for you. Hit that like button as a way of saying, I understand. It's a simple way to anchor this feeling, to remind yourself that healing is happening, even quietly. And if there's something you wish you could tell the one you lost, write it in the comments. You'd be surprised how powerful it feels to let those words out. Sometimes the act of writing them is what finally lets your heart rest. If they could sit across from you one last time, here's what they'd tell you. They'd say, please don't remember me for how I died. Remember me for how I lived. They'd tell you that your tears are sacred, but they're not meant to be permanent. They'd want you to laugh again, to dream again, to love fully without guilt. They'd say, don't let the fear of losing someone stop you from opening your heart. Love is the only thing you get to take with you when you leave. They'd want you to stop asking, why, and start asking, what now? Because every soul that leaves passes the torch, and now it's yours to carry. It's easy to think pain is proof that something went wrong, But pain is actually proof of how deeply you cared. You hurt because you loved. And love that deep doesn't disappear. It changes shape. It becomes memory. It becomes drive. It becomes wisdom. They'd want you to take that energy and do something with it, something that honors them. Maybe that means being kinder. Maybe it means forgiving yourself. Maybe it's as simple as waking up tomorrow and saying, I'm going to live today in a way they'd be proud of. Because that's how you keep their spirit alive. Not by holding on to their absence, but by carrying forward their light. There's something they've realized. Something they wish we all understood. This life and the next aren't separated by a wall. It's more like a veil, thin, quiet, and full of meaning. And sometimes when your heart softens enough, you can almost feel it lift. That warmth that rushes through you when you remember them, that's the bridge. That's where love travels both ways. They're not watching from far away. They're right beside you in the moments that matter. When you laugh, when you cry, when you choose hope again. And when you finally take your last breath one day, you won't be stepping into darkness. You'll be stepping into that same familiar light, and they'll be there, waiting. So what do you do now? You live, not half alive, not pretending, but fully. You live for them, yes, but also for you. You carry their laughter into your future, their lessons into your choices, their love into every new beginning. And when life feels heavy, remind yourself you're not alone in carrying it, because they're walking with you, unseen, but always present. You're still writing a story they're proud of. If this message brought you peace, consider subscribing, not as a routine, but as a promise to yourself. A promise to keep choosing growth, healing, and meaning, even when it hurts. And if you know someone who's struggling to move forward after loss, share this video with them. You never know how one message, one reminder of love that never dies, can shift someone's entire world. Because healing isn't something we do alone. It's something we do together. If you take nothing else from this, take this. They're okay. And they want you to be okay too. The greatest way to honor them isn't through grief. It's through gratitude. Gratitude for the time you had, for the lessons they left behind, and for the love that never fades. Close your eyes for a second. You can almost feel them smile. And if you listen closely, their voice says what it always has, I'm still with you. Always have been. Always will be.